Hello everyone. Well, it's looking like a stormy evening in northwest Indiana, and though the chance isn't high, there is a chance of hail and damaging wind that we have to talk about. So let's get you to the latest hour-by-hour timing. Now, I can't rule out some isolated showers and weak storms as early as 6, 7 o'clock this evening, but I think the good chance of showers and storms and the chance of severe storms is going to hold off until about 8 o'clock this evening. And I will say at 8 o'clock, I think the stormiest conditions are going to be in the northern and western suburbs of Chicago. And I will say throughout this evening, the greater chance of severe storms is in Chicago and those northern and western suburbs of Chicago. I do think, look what happens when we go from 8 o'clock this evening to 10 o'clock. I do think as the storms push east, they're going to be weakening, but I'm not convinced they're going to weaken fast enough to not all be non-severe as they roll in. I still think we could see a few overachieving storms that still produce some damaging wind and hail for us. I think the chance is higher in Chicago and the northern and western suburbs of Chicago, but not going to rule it out here in northwest Indiana. I will say the stormiest time looks between 8 o'clock this evening and midnight. That's the greatest chance of storms and possibly severe storms. That said, that's as a warm front lifts over us. In between a warm front and a cold front, though, it looks like another area of showers and storms. And notice how it doesn't look as impressive. Here we go at midnight, probably the best chance, once again, those northern western suburbs of Chicago. And this round not looking as impressive, but could there still be a couple of storms on the strong side? Yes, the chance is definitely smaller once we get to midnight, but between midnight and 4 a.m. here in northwest Indiana, still think there are going to be storms around, and possibly, though the chance is small, possibly maybe one or two could still be severe. But just like I said for earlier evening, I still think even with this second round, the greater chances is Chicago and the Chicago suburbs, but holding on to that small chance even in northwest Indiana. Now by 4 a.m., look how things have quieted down again. And I do think the chance of severe storms going away, but we're not done with the chance of rain yet. I'm not going to show you, but during the mid-morning on Wednesday, so perhaps beginning around the morning commute, another round of showers and yes, possibly some storms. This time around, not worried about severe storms. There could still be some thunderstorms around, particularly Wednesday morning, though, as a cold front works over us. I don't think the last of the rain is going to come to an end until the late afternoon on Wednesday. But by 4 a.m., very late tonight, the chance of severe storms going away. So, between 8 o'clock this evening and 4 a.m., but particularly highlighting 8 o'clock this evening and midnight, the greatest chance of severe storms, outside chance midnight to 4 a.m., it's mostly going to be just heavy rain and lightning in northwest Indiana. But should see a few overachieving storms. And in those overachieving storms, what are we concerned about? I think most likely it would probably just be some dime-sized hail in spots, penny-sized hail, but we could see a few spots see up to quarter-sized hail. And it's that quarter-sized hail we have to watch out for, because it's quarter-sized hail, they can leave dents in your car, cause some roof damage. If it's smaller than a quarter, though, it won't do damage. So fingers crossed it won't be quarter size, but I'm going to leave it a medium chance for seeing that quarter size hail. I think the strong winds are going to be less common. Now, I will say it is going to get windy as these storms are working over us. Wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour this evening are going to be common. What is not going to be common, I only expect it in a couple of spots, are wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. And that's what we're watching out for, because it's those wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour that can bring down tree branches and trees, power lines. So isolated power outages in northwest Indiana this evening. Isolated. I don't think it's going to be widespread, but some isolated power outages are definitely a possibility. The chance for a tornado. It's not zero, but I do want to stress it's very low. That said, I can't rule out a quick EF0 or EF1 tornado spinning up. Chance very low, but not zero. We're going to leave in that chance. Also, flooding. You know, most in northwest Indiana, I really think the most common rainfall totals are going to be ranging from a quarter inch to 3/4 of an inch. But sometimes you get storms, and especially because I'm talking about those two rounds, that initial round from 8 to midnight, and then that second round, midnight to 4 a.m. So we're probably going to end up with a couple spots that see up to 2 inches of rain. And usually 2 inches of rain doesn't cause problems, but if that 2 inches of rain were to fall in a low-lying or poorly drained location, could we then see a couple of flooded roads? Yes, so that's how it could happen. Chance of seeing that is very low, but is there. The bottom line for this evening, through the overnight hours, try to remain indoors and avoid travel.